was less than 8 years ago when Pope Benedict XVI succeeded John Paul II. This morning, we woke up to the stunning news that he will only lead the Catholic Church for a couple more weeks. The 85-year-old pontiff will resign on February the 28th, citing his age and lack of strength to continue on with the job. This is the first time this has happened in 600 years, certainly an historic occasion. A lot of speculation as to who will succeed Pope Benedict. Eric?
You lied.
Why?
It's 598 years.
Okay.
So I may have a little different take on this. I think he's doing the right thing. I think the Pope, rather than, here's what typically happens. The Pope dies, and then you have to go through the burials, the funerals, the burials. Meanwhile, the group that decides who the next Pope will be scrambles to hurry up and put another Pope in. He's given everyone ample time to think about it. He's going to give 2 weeks before he retires, and they're probably already picking names. We have a list of names that potential Pope replacements. But I think he did the right thing. Look at it in business. When you wouldn't want to throw a company into a, where you lose your founder or you lose your president because he dies, and they try to scramble to figure out who's going to replace him, a la Steve Jobs. The nice transition. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, Dana, what do you think? I mean, there's a lot of different opinions about this, of course, about whether or not he should, die as Pope versus go ahead and resign, like retirement.
Well, I think when in his statement where he described not having the strength to be able to do it, and one of the things that his doctors told him is that he should not do overseas travel. And one of the things about being the Pope is you're the world leader of the Catholic Church, and so you need to be on that stage and traveling and have the health to be able to do that. So I think he made the right decision for him. I had a chance to meet him just a couple of times, and I'm not Catholic, so it didn't affect me the way it did some people. But watching some of the Catholics that got to meet him, it meant so much to him. And I found him a wonderful man of peace, and I hope he's not too ill.
Well, there's been some concerns because at Christmas time he was looking very frail, and over the past 12 months. So the fact that he's saying 2 weeks, that's very quick. Not saying 6 months from now, 2 months from now, but it seems a general consensus. Let's take a listen to Cardinal Dolan and get Greg to react with his reaction to the news.
My affection for and my admiration for Pope Benedict XVI has skyrocketed. I just always admired him as a scholar, as a priest, as a holy man. And now my admiration for him is even higher because of his humility.
Well, I'm wondering if he will be like one of those retired bosses that kind of, that medals that hangs around the office with the new guys getting trained, or is he going to go out? What does a retired Pope do? This is the first time we've had a retired Pope. I'm curious, so what are the job benefits? Do they put that out there, the salary?
Well, he retains the bishop title.
Is there a Vatican gym?
Yes, he's still going to be Bishop Emeritus of Rome, so he will still continue to serve. And I'm sure, in a way, you're right that he'll be there for counsel, to help out. I mean, he was definitely a close confidant.
That's a tough job.
Pope John Paul II.
I'm 48. I couldn't do it.
Bob, what do you think? And how about Dolan? A lot of people talking about him, very excited. It would be great to have an American Pope.
Well, it would be exciting, but a couple of things. I had a chance to meet John Paul II way back in the late 70s, and he was, for a guy who was old then, he had enormous energy and traveled around the world. The last 2 or 3 years, though, he was stuck in the Vatican because his health was deteriorating. I think it's a good modern step for this guy to take, because most of these people, if you look at the age of the people in line, they're all late 60s, early 70s.
Those are the rules.
Let's remember this. 42% of the Catholics in this world are in South America. And I think there'll be a very strong push for a Latin American Pope to succeed Benedict, and I would not be surprised to see that happen in this round. Whether Dolan has a shot or not, I don't know. He's relatively new cardinal going to the Vatican. I think the politicking that goes on around these things are remarkable, and they have 2 weeks to do it, and there'll be a lot of politicking.
I hear Sandra Fluck wants a non-Catholic in there.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
We should be open-minded about not having a Catholic. Don't you think?
No.
Kimberly?
It is amazing the vileness
of
anti-Catholic sentiment that you saw some people espousing today. Now, there was a lot of love thrown his way as well, but I was surprised at just how disgusting some of the comments were against the Catholic Church and against the Pope.
Well, this is going to be interesting, Eric, because 15 to 20 days after, of course, that he resigns, they're going to begin with the conclave to decide, and there's a strong contender from Ghana who's 64 years old.
First black Pope.
Yeah, Peter Turkson. What was your comment?
By the way, you know why popes do this? These fingers, it engages a tendon that attaches all the way to your heart. True story.
Really?
Very sweet.
I'm going to
Nice way
Snopes that.
And there's always a doubter.
Snopes that up.
My
I'm gonna
message,
make that up.
my message to you, Greg, is believe.